Hi, everyone. This is Seth Bloom.
David Gremillion.
We're here again with another one of our podcasts. I'm sorry it's been a couple weeks, but we wanted to make sure that we stayed relevant and
Got to give the people what they want.
Exactly. So I think today's topic is going to be traffic tickets, and I know that doesn't sound like that exciting or a sophisticated area of the law.
But it's something that affects everybody. So.
Absolutely. We have more people get traffic tickets than get caught with 5 pounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
Typically. So we see a lot of traffic tickets, and traffic tickets are real important because what happens is people get traffic tickets, they just pay them, and they don't realize that paying a traffic ticket is pleading guilty to the traffic ticket and paying a fine.
Yep, they're admitting to guilt by paying that, unless they were to hire a lawyer or go to court themselves, potentially, and talk to the prosecutor to have it changed. But yeah, that's definitely something you don't want to do if it's a moving violation. There's multiple kinds of tickets. You have moving violations, non-moving violations.
Yeah, so maybe explain the difference, David, between a moving violation and a non-moving violation, and how each will affect your driver's license, how it will affect your insurance rates.
Sure.
And really, what are the ramifications of this? Because, people get a traffic ticket, I was going 20 over on the highway. Let me just pay that $300, $400, whatever dollars it is, and just be done with it. And I understand wanting to get finished with it, but finishing up with it, means you're having to go to court, or you're having to use the city of New Orleans or Jefferson Parish or wherever your ticket is bad ticket pay system.
Yeah.
We never recommend anyone pay. So I'll flip it over to Dave real quick and let him answer some of those questions that I just brought up.
You brought up a lot of good points. A moving violation is typically something when the car is moving. A speeding ticket, if there was an accident or a careless operation, something where the car was in motion and it was a violation of whatever the traffic law might be. What Seth mentioned about speeding tickets where you may have been going 20 over, there are 20, 25 miles over, depending on the parish, could be a mandatory court appearance. So they may not just let you pay it. And a lot of people are trying to be responsible and just pay the ticket and get it over with and don't want to let it linger, but they don't realize that by just paying that ticket or pleading guilty, that moving violation, that speeding ticket, even if you're going 5 miles over, can be reported to your insurance company. Then your insurance company is going to see that and say, hey, this is a risky driver we got here.
So let me just break it down for the people out there that want to understand how this works. So, for instance, we're in Orleans Parish. We have some of the highest auto insurance rates in the country.
Yeah, outrageous.
So let's just say that your insurance is $2,000 a year. It's probably about the price of a lot of insurance. $2,000 a year. And you get a traffic ticket, and you say, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to pay the $300. Mm-hmm. So you pay the $300, and then what happens is if they can choose to raise your rates based on that, and let's say they raise it by 20%. Yeah. So now 20%, let's do the math there. It's 20% of $2,000. Is that $400?
Yeah.
So that's $400, and they won't adjust it for 3 years. So now you've paid $1,200, and you have a ding on your driving record, on your insurance record.
And you paid the ticket on top of that.
And you paid the ticket. So with that same $300 ticket, we charge $400 here in New Orleans based on, depending on what kind of ticket it is, but the average ticket's about $400. We go to court for you. We try to get it reduced or thrown out so that you don't have a moving violation. And even if we're able to just reduce it, $400 you paid us, you may owe a few dollars to the court. If we get it dismissed, you owe nothing to the court. That's a much more effective way of doing it and having real representation.
Sure, and especially you get people out there that drive a lot for work. I know I do, and you may be running a little late. You go a few miles over, and you tend to rack up a couple tickets in a year. The more you get, the more you pay, the worse your insurance rates are going to get, and potentially worse ramifications for your license.
And I think it's important, drivers' records now go beyond just, a point. We don't have a point system, but go beyond just a suspension of your license or insurance rates. Sometimes a lot of times people are professional drivers, and we don't do a lot of CDL tickets themselves. But when you have a CDL, when you are a commercial driver, when you do rely on driving for a living, and you get a ticket, or on background
Uber and Lyft
drivers on background checks. A lot of times now, employers will use credit rating. They also will use your driving record. And I'll tell you, it shows something about a client. When a potential employee comes in, and the person has 3 unpaid traffic tickets or a bunch of traffic convictions, then there's real problems. I think one thing that brought up when I said a bunch of old tickets, we kind of also help handle people that are kind of frequent flyers.
Yeah.
So
people with suspended licenses potentially because they did not go to court or did not pay that ticket. And it's never advisable to just ignore the ticket because that can result in a suspension.
And ever since I started practicing 15 years ago, we've been really good when someone comes in, they're desperate, they haven't had a license in 10 years, they've got a ticket in Jefferson Parish, they got a ticket in St. Charles, they got 4 in Orleans. We try to put together a package price for them, really go into the DMV system, see what tickets are holding up their license. And sometimes tickets that aren't holding up their license are still out there.
Yeah.
So we'll do a whole search for you if you decide to hire us and try to get your license. So it's almost like a driver's license repair service.
Sure.
We have here. Sorry. I was on the phone with an insurance company for a couple hours
how was
today,
that?
David. They wore me down. They wore me. And I was trying to pay them money.
They wouldn't take it.
They wouldn't take it. They gave me a hard time. But so maybe that's why I'm talking fast.
That's right. Well, we're trying to get all that information packed in here for everybody. And you know, like we said, you definitely do not want to ignore that ticket because if you do, not only is there potentially extra fines, late fees, contempt of court, but also you may have a bench warrant out for your arrest.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. Is we've represented a lot of people that are just like, oh, I didn't pay my traffic ticket. In Orleans Parish, up to a few years ago, they put a warrant out for your arrest, and sometimes they still do it in JP. Yeah. So I've seen people that have never been near a courthouse in their life get taken to jail because they had an unpaid ticket. Other times, reckless operations are the most serious offense other than a DWI in the state. Those will make your insurance soar. Yeah. You don't want reckless operation.
It's actually a misdemeanor charge, even though you just receive a summons. So
hit and runs, that's another one we do. Someone gets in an accident. A lot of times these hit and runs, people aren't really like getting in an accident and fleeing, but they don't want to wait for the NOPD. For whatever circumstances,
the response time's a little slow, and
so then they leave.
Exchange info, and then they get a warrant out for a hit and run.
So we're more than happy to help you here. Any sort of traffic violation, if you call us, we just do usually within a number of parishes: St. Charles, St. John. Sometimes we'll do St. Bernard if you're lucky. Jefferson Parish, and some of the little courts within that: Kenner City Court, West Wego, Gretna City Court. So we'll handle you. We'll take care of you. Give us a call, 504-599-9997. And again, this is Seth Bloom.
David Gremillion. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right. Sounds good. Bye-bye.